So Matt here with Scrapebox random video number 3. Finishing off where we left off last time. Jumping right in down here, we talked about all the harvesters, select engines and proxies, and harvested URLs last time. So in the comment poster section, got some good stuff going on. Really just basic, easy to understand, fast poster, slow poster, manual poster. Pops up in a window and lets you punch in whatever you want. Um, Ping mode, and you can set the number of threads setup going on there. The RSS mode, trackbacks, check links, pretty straightforward. Couple of things here. The delay here is used to add either a 1 through 10 second variable, or you can put random. And then up here under settings, you adjust the random delay range. And whatever you put in here for the delay, it's going to randomly choose. If you choose random, else it'll choose your second marks. Now the delay only applies to the single threaded harvester, ping mode, page rank, and email grabber. So not everything, just those elements there. Test comments, pretty easy. When you load up your names, websites, etc. here, you can test the comments and it will spin your text so you can see if you have messed up any of your syntax, which is always a good thing to do. These parts, pretty easy. Load up your names file, your emails file, your websites file, your comments file, and your blog lists. You can open each one here to choose what you want to load. And then the E here is for edit. It'll actually pop open a text editor and let you edit live right there. These buttons down here change as you change things. So I have it on checks links right now. If I choose fast poster, it'll say start posting. If I choose RSS, it'll say start RSS. Stop and abort, pretty straightforward. Depending on what you're doing, there's some various export options. And then of course you can clear the list. So pretty straightforward there. Jumping up to your whole file setup up here, file is pretty easy, not much, exit. Projects let you take everything here, the names through comment section, and create a project with it. So I can create a project, load all those up, and then save that project so I can come back with different blog lists and hit all those blog lists, but not have to load each one of those up each and every single time. And then you can choose different options there. Settings, some good stuff here. Adjust maximum connections. Using too high of a connection can reduce your success rate. I talk about that in another video, but it has all the different connection settings here, as well as your timeout settings. You can adjust all those. And what you saw there when I popped those up aren't necessarily what I use. I change them depending on what I'm doing. Your delay range, we talked about that. Set the country of origin for Blog Engine. So if you've ever looked on a Blog Engine webpage, you know that it lets you choose your country that you're from, or it picks it up off your IP. This lets you choose that to be whatever you like. Fast poster connection balancing. I talk about that elsewhere on, I think, scrapeboxfac.com, but basically what connection balancing does is it pauses after every 500 connections that run through, if I'm remembering correctly, something to that effect, and allows everything to catch up, and then it keeps on going. So if you're having trouble with fast poster, you can try that. Slow poster, you can use slow commenter in accurate mode, and what accurate mode does is it actually loads up the page, physically loads up the page, and then per se it clicks in each field and inputs the information rather than using an automated method. So it avoids several spam plugins by doing that, so you can get a more successful comment run. You can skip slow commenter for WordPress and movable type. You can start the slow commenter automatically after fast commenter. Slow and manual poster blog limits. If you specify this, that's the size of the page. So right now this is set. If I have on slow poster and the page itself exceeds 1 megabyte, then it's not going to try to load it and comment to it. Can be very handy because some of your pages can be massive and it can just really slow things down. And if they're too big and your timeouts and stuff are too low, it's not going to load anyway, so you might as well just skip it. Enable learning database in slow poster. Scrapebox has a learning mode, which we won't talk about much. But if you have taught it how to comment to different blog platforms and you want it to use that knowledge in Slow Poster, you can enable that. Use the multi-threaded harvester. Simply when you're harvesting, you can either use the single-threaded harvester or the multi-threaded harvester. This lets you adjust the multi-threaded harvester proxy retries. So how many retries do you get when you use, if one proxy fails, it'll go to another one, and then how many times is it going to go before it gives up and doesn't try to harvest anything for that keyword. And then randomized comment poster blogs list, very important. If you don't use this, you should. What this does is it takes your list whenever you post to blogs and it randomizes it. I believe it also does it when you check links, but this is really, really important because if you have 500 pages, URLs from one domain, and you don't choose this, and they're all in order, Scrapebox is just going to go down the list when it posts, and it's going to post all 500 of them sequentially. So if you had your connection set to 500, it would try to load 500 pages on one single domain all at the same time. Well, that web server could see that as like a mini DDoS and think that you're trying to attack the server and either ban your IP or crash the server. In both cases, you're not going to get to comment on any of those 500 URLs, and you've lost the opportunity to comment on those, and that's if they don't complain to your proxy provider or your ISP that you're trying to attack their server. So super important you do this. What it does is it randomizes the list, and then it, rather than hitting all 500 of those at once, they're going to be all spread out through your list so that you're not hitting them, all in a row. As far as the options tab, name your instance of Scrapebox. Pretty handy. I use this a lot. You can name it whatever you want, and it puts it up here in the title field. So if you got 10 windows running at once or 5 instances of Scrapebox running at once, you can see what each one is. As far as your RSS XML export settings, just lets you choose what you want these elements to say when you export for RSS. Really handy. Use custom user agents. You can define custom user agents like browser user agents, and then you can edit your user agents as well. As far as confirm delete, that's just when you delete things, do you want it to pop the pop-up box asking you, are you sure? Create desktop shortcut. Pretty easy, it just throws a shortcut on your desktop. Automatically remove duplicate domains. As soon as you're done harvesting or you load up a list, it's going to automatically remove the duplicate domains in that list if you have this chosen. Auto recovery, pretty straightforward. It just lets it recover from a crash in Slow Commenter. You can check for add-ons. The add-on updates, when you have an add-on running and you load Scrapebox, like you start it up, you can have it to check to see if there's an update for that add-on, because sometimes you might be missing features if a new add-on update has come out and something's been added. Slow Commenter, you can disable the namespace filter. Basically, it's just a higher compatibility thing, so if you're having any troubles with Slow Commenter, you can definitely try that. You can set up an email notification server, really handy. When you're doing things in Scrapebox, like harvesting complete, etc., you can have it send you an email. So, like, I have multiple servers running Scrapebox, and if I have, 30 instances of Scrapebox running at once or more, it's hard for me to keep track and optimize. Well, I can just have it send me an email when it's done with any particular job, so that I know, okay, let's go that, and let's make it do something else, so I'm not, wasting my time, and I can get the most out of it. Use the new proxy harvester. Pretty easy. There's two proxy harvesters. There's the old one and the new one. New one has some nice advantages, and I generally use it, but you can choose what you want. Bing API IDs. Bing has kind of cracked down, and in short, if you want to harvest from Bing down here in your select engines and proxies, you're going to have an API ID. Generally speaking, if you have a couple of 3 of them, it's better, but you can go here and you can follow through to get your API, but they don't come included with Scrapebox. You're going to need your own for various reasons. And so that's going to be the end of Scrapebox random video number 3 due to time constraints, and we're going to pick up with random video number 4 and finish off the rest of this up here.